I'm reading a message. Any help is needed. Contacts for trusted lawyers, someone to deliver money to the detention center, even just information. My friend was arrested and is now in jail in Dubai. The court date is set for March 26th. He posted a TikTok video of a fire on the Palm on February 28th. We were right next to the explosion then. He filmed it and posted it. And a law was passed in the Emirates that publishing photos and videos of military actions is prohibited, well, just like in any country. My friend was arrested on March 9th. The video has now been deleted. So overall, that's the situation. In any country, generally, anything related to military matters is prohibited from being published. And in the Emirates, it's forbidden to publish bad news, videos of any incidents, accidents, and so on, because it directly affects the reputation of the Emirates. In this case, the person published a video of a fire in a major tourist spot. Well, naturally, this led to negative consequences, but he likely won't go to prison. He'll be given a fine and deported from the country, and that's it. Well, these things happen. Hello, everyone, friends. Let's look at how Dubai is doing right now, how Dubai's business is doing, and what my forecasts are for what will happen next. Let's dive in. So what's actually happening right now? Is there panic, and how has it affected business? Actually, right now, you could say that almost nothing is happening. I mean, every day, maybe once, there's some air defense system activity, and that's it. Nothing else is happening. What is happening? There are significantly fewer tourists in the city now, in Dubai, and significantly fewer people because of that. Everyone else who lived here permanently, they continue to live here just like I do and continue with their lives. Now let's see how this will affect business. First of all, we need to understand what kind of business. And I believe, guys, that now is the time for real business, without the hype, without those fluctuations. And now we're starting the real game, and we'll see which business can survive in some unusual conditions. And this is important. This is the time to strengthen your business. How is business doing? To understand how business is doing, you can look at several characteristics. First, basically, Dubai's economy, nothing has happened to it yet, but it's fundamentally built on the tourist flow. About 4 million people live permanently in the Emirates, in Dubai to be precise, and about 4.5 million visit Dubai monthly during the season. Well, this flow of tourists has decreased significantly. Does my business rely on these tourists? No, of course not, to a lesser extent. But we need people to fly to the Emirates in order to open companies. Many don't want to right now. Who does this affect? Of course, this affects the real estate sector, the sector where apartments are sold at launches. And right now, very few people are buying apartments. Second, who is affected? The entire business sector related to tourism. This includes, for example, car rentals, tour activities, and I don't mean to offend, I have friends in wake surfing, it surely affects them, yacht rentals and so on and so forth. They've seen a significant drop in tourist flow and consequently problems. Who else is affected? The hotels. Meaning no one is coming to stay in the vast number of hotels. The current situation isn't like 2022, when a huge number of people came here and began developing this country even more actively. And business, of course, has now run into difficulties. And the difficulties are due to the fact that clients need to be sourced from somewhere. Have companies started leaving the Emirates en masse, or are they continuing their business? Of course, everyone with a serious business, those who are developing here, aren't going anywhere in the current situation. Well, something is happening, but everyone has mobilized and is ready to grow their business. Who is leaving now? Those who can just pack up, drop everything and leave, right? Consequently, these are companies that either just started, haven't invested money yet, or haven't developed long-term obligations to clients. As for all serious businesses, they have all these components. That is, they have a team of people who need to be paid salaries and to whom there are legal obligations. They have obligations to clients that cannot be abandoned. They have other processes that cannot be stopped in an instant. But some international companies have relocated their employees for safety reasons. Some are asking them not to come to the office but to work from home. But overall, large, medium, and to some extent small businesses haven't experienced any huge difficulties. Have companies closed, for example, like hotels? Well, no, of course hotels haven't closed, they're all operating. And now is a time when it's inexpensive to stay in some hotels. I was looking, for instance, I've never stayed at the Marsa Al Arab Hotel. It's a great hotel, but they aren't offering big discounts yet for some reason. As soon as there's a 50% discount, I'll definitely go and stay there for a night or two. Just out of interest, one of the best hotels in Dubai, car rentals. Of course, they're having difficulties. And those who are leveraged and whose cash flow covered loan payments will now have problems with banks. They need to go now and negotiate with banks to get some payment deferrals. Those who don't have such obligations don't have any problems. Real estate. Large agencies obviously will cut their costs in the current situation, but stay in the market. And I should say we have about 16 real estate agencies under our management. I called the heads of 3 or 4 agencies. They say they'll cut costs. They've built up a buffer over December, January and February. Essentially, they earned well and now they'll optimize budgets for everything, just not drive as much traffic. It's fine, just survive 6 months until the tourist flow starts back up again. I think everyone will manage. What other sectors are suffering? Those in tourism, like various entertainment, well, it's probably tough for them right now. I'd recommend they pivot now to focus on those within the Emirates. For example, amusement parks, right? They said there are no tourists now, so they announced free entry for residents, making a certain number of tickets free, right? But I actually tried to get those free tickets and I couldn't. I mean, they say in all the water parks, all the amusement parks like Miracle Garden, the Atlantis Water Park and others, there's no space, just huge crowds of people there now having fun for free. Well, it's not exactly positive, but for businesses that were hit hard, survival is what matters now, right? And through this, they create some flow so that everything keeps going and processes don't stop. Well, we're actually doing the same thing. In our company, we've started working closely with partners, increasing the commission we pay them. So we used to pay 10, now we'll pay 20, and partners can earn what you might call passive income through accounting. Basically, you refer clients to us and you get passive income. And accounting, it's one of those fields that's like bread, everyone needs it. Even in a crisis, no one closes their company. They keep keeping records, they keep paying taxes. So that's how it is. And for those who don't know about our company, it's called Global Tax Assistant. We provide services in business registration, accounting and auditing in the Emirates, Oman, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. So you can always refer a client to us and receive a referral fee. And it's a working mechanism that allows everyone to earn. The link to our website will be in the description of this video. What's happening with ordinary people in Dubai right now? First of all, I want to say there's no panic. Everyone is completely calm. What's the current situation like? Schools are closed at least until March 23rd. It was spring break, so everyone's kids are at home. Some left, some didn't, some are still here. But people are just living their quiet lives. Are people sleeping in parking lots? No, people aren't sleeping in parking lots. In a few buildings, there were situations where people, for whatever reason, went to the parking lot and stayed overnight. There are videos like that online, but where I live, there were no such warnings. Well, it's probably to ensure safety. For instance, we were at the bathhouse and the siren went off several times. It turned out the bathhouse is a safe place because there are no windows, so there's no real danger. And so we had to, wait out that period there, as funny as it sounds, but really in times when there might be difficulties, that's the world now. You have to find safe places. I was lucky that at some point a bathhouse became just such a place. You probably have a question, what does a bathhouse have to do with it? You're in Dubai after all. Actually, we have an entrepreneurs club in Dubai called Bathhouse in the Desert. So we go to the bathhouse every Wednesday. And just last Wednesday, we were at the bathhouse and it was a safe place during the phone alerts that come from the city's security system. We could feel safe in the bathhouse. So what happens next? I base my conclusions on the past and we can look at various crises that have happened in this world, right? There's COVID, the events of 2022, and before that, the 2008 crisis, right? The Emirates emerged from all these situations very well with a kind of double strength. Therefore, I believe that in these current difficult times, the Emirates will learn from this and the economy here will develop even more actively. What are my predictions? That as a result of these events, like Nassim Taleb has a book called Anti-Fragility, and anti-fragility isn't formed in a place that doesn't break at all, but in something that can't be completely broken. Any small damage leads to conclusions that make you stronger. So now are the times when the Emirates are testing their security in real time. We wouldn't want this, but it's happening. The Emirates are defending their right to be like the Switzerland of the Middle East, a place where it's safe for money and safe for people. And the Emirates are essentially putting their reputation into practice now. And after this, they'll draw conclusions and become even stronger. And I'm sure of this, that it's just the next chapter in this country's development. How long all this will last, I don't know. Only politicians know about this, and even then, probably not all of them. There are different versions, so let's not make any predictions. I believe you should do what you can in the place where you are. So, I'm in the Emirates, I'm developing corporate services here, developing accounting, developing a business club and everything in our ecosystem, and I'll continue to do so in the current situation. So to everyone who planned to do business here, I also say to you, welcome, because all of this will end. And right now are actually excellent conditions for entering here. You can negotiate discounts or go for some shorter terms. And in general, it's a great time when everything around is unstable. It's the time to build a business. And I'm a proponent of this view. Friends, give it a like if this was useful and write in the comments what you think about what's happening. This was Smbat Alikhanyan. Bye everyone.